Hey, this is Anna Runyon from ClassyCareerGirl.com, and today in my networking challenge, I'm speaking with Andrea Kay. Andrea is a career coach and an author of 5 best-selling career books, and I'm really excited to speak with her today. So thanks so much, Andrea, for being here.
Thank you for having me, Anna.
You bet. So I want to get started with a question I get all the time. How can someone transition into an industry when they have no experience in that industry?
Well, I think the first thing is to don't try to sell yourself, but influence people. That is the biggest key. And the best way to influence somebody is to think through, if I'm trying to make a change into a new career, what are the skills that this potential position and potential employer is looking for? So what skills, talents, and abilities do I need to have? What transferable skills would it take? Show how serious you are. Passion, commitment to wanting to do this thing, whatever it is, will make up and for any lack of experience that you have. So talking about the reasons, the rationale for why you wanted to make this change is so key. I would say that's about 80% of influencing somebody, is helping them see what was in you that made you want to go into nursing or become a financial planner, whatever it was. I think that the whole idea of why it matters to you and conveying that is really going to be helpful in persuading somebody to want to hire you. But mostly your passion, your enthusiasm, and what you have done to prepare yourself. What classes have you taken? What new information have you garnered? What have you done to prepare yourself? Not just from technical skills and new learning, but emotionally, or how you had to change your life. Really tell that story so that the employer sees that you are worth the investment that it will take to bring you along in this new area, this new career.
Love that. Yeah, people can really see you're passionate about something too. And I love how you said to influence them as well. Because some people are scared that they're just going to see right through them and the experience they don't have. But I love that.
Yeah, everybody's so focused on selling. And selling puts a lot of pressure on you to say the right things, to know exactly what to do, to make sure you tell the employer what you think they want to hear. But if instead you're focusing on influencing, thinking totally differently. You're thinking, what do I need to do to help them see how much I want this and how it will behoove them to bring me into this position. But it's really about telling a story and helping the other person see why this is so meaningful to you and what you've done to make yourself ready for it.
Okay. So what are your tips that you give job seekers right now in this economy, of the secret to getting a job offer in this economy?
Well, I think the secret is the same it's always been, no matter what the economy, and that is to speak the employer's language. And that means help the employer see how you are going to make him or her and their company successful. This isn't about you. This is about helping them see what you're going to do for them. Most people don't do that. They sit there and they say, oh, I have X amount of years of experience and I want a job and that kind of language, which is not speaking the employer's language. Speaking the employer's language is telling them the skills, the technical skills that you have and the abilities and the talents that will help them be successful in whatever focus, whatever area you're in. And I've been talking to hundreds of employers lately because I'm working on my new book that will be out later in this year in 2012, early 13. And I'm asking them, what is it that you're looking for? And what they want is, somebody who has the skills and the talents and the technical abilities to make them successful. But more so, much more important, are skills and abilities and characteristics such as maturity, such as being excited about this job, being excited about the industry, being passionate about this particular area, working well with others, communicating, having the passion and the gumption that says you're worth the investment, plus having the right technical skills. But the key to getting a job in any economy is really about speaking their language.
Okay. So I love the titles of your books because they just stand out and grab attention. So one of your titles is Work's a Bitch and Then You Make It Work. And so I'm curious about if someone's unhappy in their job, in their work, how can they go about, taking that next step and finding the right career for them?
Well, first of all, I think you need to ask yourself some questions because a lot of people get career change mixed up with career or with job change. So it may not be time to throw your career out the window. It may just be time to switch companies or switch your boss. So the questions you want to ask are, first of all, what's not working? What is it about my present situation that makes me think it's time for a career change? Is it the company? Is it the culture? Is it this job that I do at this company, even though I love the company? Is it the person I work for? So first identify what's not working. Then if you decide for whatever reason, based on this data that you gather and really objectively look at it or sit down with somebody else and do that it really is time for a career change, not just a job. Then the question is not what most people ask, which is, well, what's out there? Mm-hmm. What should I do? The question is, what's in here? What's in me, so that I can really get a sense of what will make me happy. Mm-hmm. So my other book, Life's a Bitch and Then You Change Careers, takes you through those questions that you need to ask, lots of introspective questions, starting with what is working, what isn't working, what are some of the kinds of ideas that I would like to work with, or is it a product? What kinds of people do I want to work with? What matters to me? There are a host of questions and exercises that I take you through to really ascertain that. But most of the work starts with what's in here. Mm-hmm. Then you're ready to go out and say, okay, now where does that fit in with what the world needs and where we are at this point? Where can I tie what I love to do, what I am excited about doing, and how I want to make a difference with what's needed out there?
Okay. I know a lot of people try and do job change really quickly or change their careers really quickly and hop online and try and apply to jobs. How long do you recommend taking to evaluate that?
As long as it takes. Okay. And it's not a matter of jumping online and, what a lot of people do, they say, well, my sister-in-law loves being a nurse, or my brother-in-law loves being a nurse. He just went from being a financial planner to a nurse. And I think I'm going to do that. Or they'll go and talk to two people who love what they do, and they don't ask the right questions. Like, well, what's your worst day like? Why did you make this change? And then sit down and evaluate their list of needs and things that make them happy against what it really is like, to be able to know if that's a good mix. In both of my books, I give you those kinds of lists to look at to help you ascertain what do you need, asking what questions you need to find out to discover what a career is really like, and then even shadowing somebody, going to their job and seeing what a typical day is like, trying out an internship, asking the career is typically like before you jump into it. So many people come to me and say, well, it sounded really good, or I heard they make a lot of money, or, they're really going to need computer people, so I think I'm going to become one of them, without doing the homework. Bad idea.
No, I'm a huge fan of informational interviews. I've done a lot of them too, and they've helped me a lot. So
great.
Those are really good to do. So once we find that career that we love, how can we be successful in that career and stand out?
Well, I think, first of all, when you get into a new career, do a lot of listening, observing, and seeing how other people do it, and really learn to master the basics and really understand the technical aspects of your job. So many people, especially young people, will come up to me and say, I should have that higher up job, that promotion, and they've only been there 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, and they think they should be the boss. They don't even have the technical skills and abilities yet. So really master those skills, really get to know what it is that you do well, so that you understand the technical aspects. Really focus on work that is essential to the success of your company. Dig around and find out what's working, what's not working, and become a problem solver so that the company sees that you really are somebody who wants to make a difference and looks for the work that makes a difference. Not all jobs are equal, so look for the work that's essential to the success of the company. And I think another key thing is to build a reputation for being generous with your time and your assistance. Offer to help people. Build that reputation that you are somebody who's there to help other people. Do those 3 things and you will get noticed, and you will begin a successful career in that area, whatever area it is.
Definitely, yeah. Just like having even your door open and being available for questions and stuff too, I think goes a long way.
Yeah, and asking somebody, how can I support you? What can I do to help you? Pitching in even when you're not asked.
Okay. So we're doing a great job in our jobs. How can we then ask our boss and negotiate a better raise or a better salary?
I think you need to make the case. Remember, this is a business conversation that is based on objective information, not just, I think I should have a raise, I deserve it. That doesn't cut it. So you really need to figure out what's your market value and what's the case for giving you this raise. Evidence that you've achieved more, evidence that you've done more, evidence that you are performing better, you've taken on more responsibilities, and as a result, it's had some results. So you need to attach value to those achievements. So, for example, the fact that you have taken on these kinds of responsibilities or taken on this particular project, increased sales, or gave the company more exposure, whatever that value is. But really have that figured out. You need to sit down and, as if you were going into a lawyer to present a court case and presenting your case, the evidence that says, here's why I should get this raise. You also need to pick the right time. A lot of people, their timing may not be right. You may be deserving, you may have a great case, but the timing isn't right. And in that case, you can always say, okay, this may not be the right timing. When can we revisit this? But the key is to see this as a business conversation where your boss, who's so busy with his or her own issues, doesn't know why necessarily that you deserve this raise and what you've been doing. So you got to lay it out for them and attach evidence that explains why what you've done is so valuable to the company.
Okay. So do you recommend sending them an email ahead of the meeting maybe and giving them a heads up, or just having it all ready during that meeting?
Well, I'd set the meeting, first of all. Make sure you establish it either through them or whoever sets their calendar and say, I'd like to sit down and have a conversation. And I wouldn't say a lot. I would say maybe it's about my development. It's about, some things regarding my work here, something to that effect.
Okay.
But the planning and the homework and the practicing and thinking through what you're going to say, that really is what you need to do prior to that meeting. Do not go in not knowing all those facts I just listed.
No, definitely not. So this is the question that I ask at the end of all my interviews. What is one thing that you wish you would have known as a young professional woman just starting out in her career?
There's so many things. It would take all day to talk about.
That's okay.
But, most of the things, I think, if I had known them, I wouldn't have gone through the trials and tribulations that I did, which helped me get to where I am. So having said that, though, one of the things that I wish somebody had told me and helped me with was understanding the importance of saving money in the jobs that I had, setting up an IRA, those kinds of things. Nobody ever sat down and did that with me. And if I look back as a young person, I really wish I had done that and understood what all of that meant and how to take care of myself in my career and, hopefully someday to be able to retire. That's the biggie for me.
That's a good one. It's a really good one because they don't really teach that in college. You're kind of on your own to figure that out.
Yeah, well, they don't teach a lot of things related to your career in college. But, I just wish some adult had said to me, besides a checkbook, I remember my father said, here's how you do a checkbook, that somebody had said, and you need to start putting away X amount of dollars into an IRA and not touch it for 40 years or 30 years. Mm-hmm. But nobody really had that conversation with me.
Yeah, it's definitely not something when you figure it out, you're like, whoa, but yeah, if no one tells you, you don't know. Did
somebody have that conversation with you?
My dad did, yeah.
Good. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, he's a day trader. He's into finances and stuff, so he's definitely put that in my head since I was little.
Good. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes. But I'm glad that we talked about it because that doesn't usually come up in these conversations, so I'm glad that came up.
Yeah, the other thing that I wish, I understand it very well now, but I wish I had understood at a younger age the importance of understanding other people's points of view. Mm. That's the other thing that has helped me later on in my career and in the work that I do is really getting into somebody else's shoes and understanding that it can help you be more influential, tracking back to what we said at the beginning. If you understand where the other person is coming from, it will help you get what you want, and it will just help build relationships more if you can understand where the other person sitting on the other side of the table, whether it's an interview, your boss, or a coworker or a client, if you understand where they're coming from and you decide to really put on your listening cap to what they're feeling, what they're going through, it will help you immensely.
That's a good one too. Awesome. So where can people find out more about you and your books online?
Well, AndreaKay.com. You can find information on either of my books. That's AndreaKay.com. And I have a website there you can sign up for. Every once in a while I send out information. All my books are listed through Amazon.com and local bookstores. I have podcasts, video podcasts, all kinds of things. And I can let you know when my new book comes out if you're on my mailing list. So it's AndreaKay.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me this morning.
Oh, Anna, it's been my pleasure, and I wish you the best in your career.
Thank you. This is Anna Runyon from ClassyCareerGirl.com.